What you're failing to see is that horse racing is an exploitive industry.
Money I earn, I give to poor people.
You're trying to do something valiant and you're trying to do something nice with it, but that money was earned off the back of slavery.
Do you eat beef?
No, I'm vegan.
Vegan. Well, you're like me. I'm not. Yeah, I don't even eat egg. I eat eggs. I'll be honest with you. Eggs sometimes because there's eggs in cake and all this. You can't help it.
You can't help it. Has anyone ever told you about the dairy industry?
No.
All right, let me tell you about the dairy industry. Why do cows produce milk?
For the offspring.
Right.
And we are stealing that. I know that.
What happens to the babies?
Meat
They get killed.
would kill them. Oh.
They get killed. So you know when you buy cow's milk, you're creating the demand. You know like you won't eat animals' bodies because you create a demand and you create the suffering. If you drink dairy, you're creating animal suffering.
I'm telling you, I totally agree. Totally, 100% I agree. Vegan, you know, I'm for it. But what can you do? I mean, at the end of the day, how can you
Live
tell
vegan.
people?
Live vegan, it's simple. Like you said earlier, eggs are in cakes and I can't avoid it. Just don't eat the cakes. Or get a vegan cake.
Vegan. So vegan is no eggs at all.
Vegan is no eggs, no dairy, no milk, no honey, no leather, no wool, no wearing animals' bodies. We don't go to the zoo. We don't bet on horses. We don't bet on dogs. No entertainment.
I bet on horses though. I love my horses.
You see how many horses are killed?
As long as they don't whip, you know.
The horse racing, on average, one horse dies per race.
Animal welfare is very important.
Well, animal rights.
But
animal rights. Let me ask you a
horses
question.
were made for racing.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. You've been conditioned to think horses are made for. Horses are no more made for racing than they were to pull carts, than they were to have people on their backs.
No racing horses. You know, race horse. You know what I'm saying? No. There are horses for cart, but there are race horses for pedigree, breeding.
What about if I bred dogs for fighting, dog fighting, and I only breed these dogs for dog fighting?
No, you don't do it for fighting. What you do,
I do.
You breed for speed.
But, so you're saying that we breed these specific horses for racing, and this is okay because they're bred for this existence. Now I'm going to breed dogs for dog fighting. Is this good or bad?
If you do a dog for security reasons, you know, a dog which would like police dog.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Then
why is that okay?
Because if that dog can fight, you know, if it's violent, right?
It doesn't want to, right? We force animals to do what we want. No dog walks into the police station and says, I want a job as a security guard. No dog willingly does it. We force dogs, we force animals.
But the dogs have got smell instinct. They can smell drugs. They can smell, so they're useful animals. Useful for
so you're picking up on it. You picked up on it. We're using them. They're not consenting to it. They don't walk in and say, I want to sign up to be a sniffer dog. I want to sign up to be security. As humans, take these animals
as humans,
and we use them.
We are using everything. We are the culprits, I know.
Okay, so let's say that I'm going to take black people and I'm going to use them as slaves.
They have used it.
Was that okay?
No.
Right.
Now
exactly.
we're learning.
Right. So maybe we should also learn that horse racing, the use of dogs in police force.
So one day, hopefully, we want. Well, I had the war. I mean, no matter about animals. I'm talking about war. You know, war. Any wars.
Yeah.
Like John Lennon used to say, imagine all the people living together, right?
Yeah.
I'm dreaming. I don't know whether I'm dreaming or not, but my wish is that any wars is no good. You know this Poppy Day on November 11. People remember they wear red roses, right? I'm saying, and you're remembering British soldiers, British people who fought for it. We should wear a white one, and you should pray for all the people in the world who suffered because of the war.
What about the animals who suffered in the war?
Yeah, same thing.
You include them as well?
Same thing with the animals. We should, yes. If we treat it, but why does a lion? God has done this. I mean, it was confusing me. You're right. Let's have a clear world. No cutting of animals and But the lion's job is to hunt and God has done that, isn't it?
But you're not a lion, right?
No.
You're not a lion.
A lion is an animal.
Yeah, but you're not a lion. That's like saying,
No.
Why don't you go off that building and try and fly? But you're not a bird.
Yeah.
So a lion does a lion, a bird does a bird. You do you.
I'm vegetarian, right? And people say, my friend says, look, God has given you teeth to eat both. You know, humans can have carnivore. Nobody can eat vegetarian and meat because of the teeth, the way they done it. Lions don't eat grass. They can only eat meat because God has done that. So what I'm not saying, something is telling me. What do you think? I'm crying. You know, when the lions, when they go and pick the innocent animals and jump on it, it's hurting me.
Me too.
It's hurting.
I hate seeing it. I hate watching it. But listen, when you eat eggs and when you eat dairy,
even eggs is bad. Eggs is the worst because you're killing somebody's baby.
and same as dairy. But when you see a lion, who is an obligate carnivore, who has no moral agency, who is in survival, when you see a lion doing what he has to do, it makes you feel sad inside. Now you have choices and options where you cause just as much pain and suffering to another individual as that lion is at that time.
That's right.
If this upsets you, then what are you going to do about the pain, suffering, and violence that you're causing?
Become vegan.
Right.
Yeah? Yeah, I will. I become
believe you
vegan.
will.
Because you know why? I'll tell you why I'll become vegan. My cousin brother, you know, he is a vegan, and he told me about it one day. He said,
Yeah.
Philip, they steal the you know, milk is made for the offspring.
That's right.
And this culprit we steal the milk, and the offsprings have been left. How would you like your baby not given breast milk and they get still and give it to somebody? It's similar style. He was telling me like that. So it's true, isn't it?
Of course it's true. Now come back to horse racing.
So I'll become vegan then, yeah, no problem.
And listen, vegan is not just a diet. So this is going to also impact the horse racing side of things. It's going to also impact.
With horse racing, right? They look after. You know, have you seen the people who look after horses? You know, when they give them water when after the race when they are what do you call sweating, they look after them like a pet. You know, there are a lot of people they enjoy racing. Is like.
What happens when they break their leg?
It's a sport. I mean, we are in the Olympics, and we can break. It can happen. It can happen.
Anyone in the Olympics putting themselves in that position, they've consented to doing it. These horses have not consented.
So what? No. What's happening now? You were talking about horse racing, particularly, right? We're talking about one particular race, Grand National, right? And they're doing something about it. What they're doing is they're the biggest fences. They got the biggest, hardest thing, cruel. And there were a lot of horses were killing. What they've done is they made it now safer, reduced the height of the fences. They're looking into it. But you can't do completely without the horses will be bored.
The horses will not be bored. The horses will not be bored. The way to stop it, the way to minimize it so you have no deaths is stop doing it.
This is the important thing, right? Now listen to me very carefully. The most cruelest thing in horse racing is when they chop the bollocks off. You know what they do? They gelded. What they're doing when the horse is not behaving himself because he wants to show his manhood. They castrate him, and that is worse.
Now listen, when you said the horse, they don't comply. They don't go in the box to start the race. They don't like having the bit put in their mouth. They don't like someone on their back.
They've been trained.
They're not complying, right?
Yeah.
So they don't want to be in that position. So they're not consenting to it. They're being forced. The same as any slave would be forced into doing something they don't want to do. Just because we've glorified it and we've said it's horse racing, we look after them. I could say to you, I have my slaves. Hang on, let me finish. I have my slaves. Whoa.
Cruel, isn't it?
Of course. But let me finish. Let me finish. I have my slaves. I'm going to give them water. I'm going to give them food. I'm going to give them a nice bed. But when they're not working hard enough, I'm going to force them to work harder. If they're talking, I'm going to put something in their mouth to stop them talking, a metal bar that's going to break their jaw. If they're not looking in the right direction, I'm going to put blinkers on their face so they only look where I want them to look. And then we're going to dress this up like I'm doing them a favor? Or am I exploiting that individual?
Well, when they put a blinkers, so they concentrate, they don't look right or left, you know, they want them to concentrate straight.
They want them to. The horse isn't...
Horses don't want to. Horses want to do what they want, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, horses will do what they like. They'll kick you. You know what I mean? If they're not happy, they will do it.
Because they don't want to be oppressed. Do you know what they call it when an animal like a horse is compliant? It's learned helplessness. The horses have just learned that for them, they just have to give in. Because no matter how much kicking or fighting or no matter how much trying to escape they do, inevitably the humans are going to beat them and kick them and whip them and push them to where the human wants them to go. It's cruel, it's exploitive,
But
it's violent.
what they're saying, some of the horses are enjoying them. They
No, they're
enjoy
not.
racing.
They're telling you this to make you feel like it's okay.
No, they love it.
What if when you come to visit my slave farm, I'm patting the slaves on the head saying he's having the best day of his life.
No.
He loves this. He loves it if I do this.
There are some owners, right? Like the Aga Khan, the Aga Khan, the owner, they don't castrate. They don't. He believes that you shouldn't geld. Gelding. Is called gelding. Yeah. When a horse is they castrate the bollocks of, they're called gelding. So all these horses which running now on the stakes or jumps, they're no good for breeding. So what they do, they end up as gelded, and it's very cruel. It's very cruel. I agree. But horses, the young horses for Derby, like the races like Derby, just for 2 years, for success breeds success. So to see, mixing and matching a pedigree to find the best. What do you call?
I understand what you're
Offspring.
saying, but what you're failing to see is that horse racing is an exploitive industry, the same as dog racing, the same as dog fighting. We're breeding individuals into existence so they comply with what we want them to do, so we can profit.
So the world will be boring place. No racing.
No, right.
All vegan food.
Well, do you know what? The jockeys could get off and run around the track themselves. That would be entertaining. Why do we have to force someone else to do it? Because they can run their own race. You see what I'm saying? Replace any of these animals with yourself or someone you love. Let's replace one of your family members and let's put them in the place of the horse, being whipped, being castrated, being forced.
I know.
You wouldn't want it to
It's
happen.
cruel.
So why would we try so hard to justify it happening to them when we should say, you know what? This is an injustice. This is an exploitive industry and we need to remove it. Now, how do we remove these industries? We stop paying into them. Every time you go to the betting office and you put money on a horse to race, you're propelling that industry. If nobody turned up to the betting offices and if no one turned up to the races, they wouldn't be able to continue to be there exploiting animals and have to stop. The same as when you stop eating dairy and you stop eating eggs. You're taking a position like you have with not eating animals' bodies by saying, I'm against this industry, I'm removing myself from the industry.
Well, the industry, horse racing is the 5th largest industry, right? Let's get this clear. It's creating a lot of jobs. It's creating an industry, the 5th largest industry. The owners,
Slavery- slavery created a lot of
no,
jobs.
The stable lads, they got a job. Jockeys, they got a job. Trainers got a job. It's a
Slavery creates lots of jobs.
but slavery. I agree. Slavery, but slavery is. In this world, there is still slavery. Officially, they're not slavery, but the way people are treating in factories, some of them, it's like slavery.
So slaves, so we should
They
continue
have
doing
been
it.
abused.
It's
No,
okay.
No, there is union laws about it, but to look after welfare workers' right. But some of the workers have been exploited.
But slavery
Same.
creates jobs, so we should have slavery. I'll tell you another thing, hitmen get paid, they need to provide for their family, so we could justify hitmen. We could justify murderers.
All I'm saying is horse racing. They can continue with a safer environment.
Not
and
for the
no
horses.
castration. If I was in charge, I would say no castration.
But there's no right way to do the wrong thing. You're concerned about the welfare because you do care, but you love horse racing so much that you're scared to remove yourself from it. But from the victim's position, this is not good enough.
The horses were made for excitement. It's distance. So some horses, the way racing works, right?
But you started there.
It's speed and stamina.
But you're saying the horses are made for this.
It's speed and stamina.
But you're saying the horses are made for this. This isn't like, I could go back to my analogy. I am going to breed these dogs for dog fighting. Is that ethical? Is that okay? I'm going to breed the biggest, strongest dogs who can really, really tear each other
But what
apart.
they're saying, some of the horses are enjoying them. When they're
But my
going
job-
to the race course,
Let's
they're
say-
looking forward to it. When they see the people,
Yeah,
the
okay.
horses are intelligent.
Let's
They
say that
look
my
at
dogs
you
enjoy it. Let's say the
and-
dogs that I breed, they love fighting.
There is dog racing. There's grounds.
I'm saying dog fighting. I'm breeding dogs for dog fighting. And the dogs I breed are big, strong dogs. I specifically breed them to be strong and I specifically breed them to be violent. And my dog, who's won 10 rounds, he loves dog fighting. Is this ethical and is this moral? My dogs fight to the death. They kill other dogs. People come and pay me money and they watch these dogs fight to the death and my dog loves it. Is this ethical? Is this moral?
I would just say 100. If you get rid of horse, okay. If there was no racing, there was no what do you call what do you call all animals, right? What would happen then? What would happen to the horses?
People would watch
no,
football.
no.
What happens to the
How
horses?
are we going to feed them? How are we going to feed them?
The horses would end up in sanctuaries. The horses would end up in places who actually do consider them morally
Like
worthwhile
living in the wild.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying. Living
we
in the
would
wild.
try and replicate that as much as we can so the horses don't live in exploitation. Like there are horses in sanctuaries right now who've been rescued from the racing industry. You know, the other industry that aligns with horse racing is horse meat.
The French-
Horse meat
the
industry
French-
runs
Yeah,
alongside.
you know, French love the horse meat. And I some of the race horses in here, they end up as a horse meat in France.
So this is
I
the
agree.
same
I
industry.
don't like it. I'm against it.
Then the
But-
only way is to remove yourself from horse racing. The same as you removed yourself from eating animals' bodies, you got to remove yourself from all these other exploitive industries. If you're truly empathetic and if you truly believe that animals are someone who we should morally consider and that we shouldn't exploit, you just remove yourself. Take an ethical position and align your actions and your morals.
See, with I'll be honest with you, with horse racing, right? I love my sport in a way, you know, in such a way that I have made enough money to buy my own house, right? I have now, you know, virtually 160K with all the horses, you know, because of skill, by studying, by analyzing it, I mean, looking at it, learning about horses, how the way they move. If the ears of the horses are down, I don't back them. If the horses, the ears are standing, I know they're in the mood. So you can tell the horses are not enjoying themselves when the ears are down.
But listen, so you sound like an intelligent guy. You sound like if you can analyze and if you can work this out.
I've done it.
You
And
sound like you're very
the money
intelligent.
I earn, I give to poor people.
But that money that you've earned, you're trying to do something valiant and you're trying to do something nice with it. But that money was earned off the back of slavery. That money was earned off the back of an injustice. So although you're trying to do something good with it, it was unethical and immoral how you obtained it. But what I would say to you, you're intelligent and you can clearly work these systems out. Use that in some way where you don't exploit someone.
You're talking about horse racing is a gambling, yeah, gambling. Muslim religion, some religions are against gambling. Gambling is haram. That money is not good. You know, but they want money from me. I give them, when I win money, they're ringing me, oh, did you win today? Some of them, they want the money, but they got this, they're too, you know, they're hypocrites, you know. They're saying, we shouldn't gamble, it's haram. With that money, you will not be happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Most people are hypocritical. Most people will say, I love animals. Most people will say, I don't want to hurt animals. And then as soon as I say to them, what about horse racing? They'll say, but the horses are having a good time.
What I would do with horse racing, first of all, if I was in charge, or like if they give me power, I would say, I would stop them castrating horses. No
Yeah,
more
we're back there, but I know you've said that before.
That's cruel. That's
But-
more cruel than killing. You know, can you imagine they
It's
do
the
it
same.
to you?
It's the
Just
same.
tie you up
It's the
and
same.
castrate you.
It's the
How do
same.
you feel?
It's exactly the same as when you put them in
It's
danger
very
when they run
cruel,
the tracks.
Very cruel. I know.
The whole horse racing industry, dog racing industry, all these industries are super cruel. They're exploitive, they're violent.
Yes, we agree.
So we shouldn't support them.
And you know, all you're saying, make a world a better place. And this, we are dreaming. But even if you can do
But it could be a
something-
reality. The only reason why these systems and industries are running is because people support them financially.
System, yeah.
You can remove yourself from the system. You removing your financial support for these industries has a butterfly effect for someone at the other end where it's life and death. You seem empathetic. I hope you connect your actions and your morals and your ethics.
And then start
Live
thinking
vegan.
about it.
The longer it's going to take you to connect.
Vegan, I'll be vegan from now on, no problem.
You can't be vegan if you go to the horse betting shop.
I can stop. No, I mean eating wise.
So that's not vegan. That's plant-based.
Oh, means vegan, you must not even play horses.
Of course, because vegan is against the exploitation of animals, and horse racing is just as exploitive as any other industry that exploits animals.
Okay.
All right. So if you are vegan, I believe you just need a little bit longer on this conversation to connect it,
yeah.
because I don't think that you enjoy the fact that animals are exploited in this industry, but you're struggling to come to terms with the fact that you're going to have to remove yourself from the industry to align your ethics and your actions.
Well, I mean, I don't have to play horses anymore because I already got my own house now, and the only thing is now, I'm about to retire soon anyway, 1 year. So I mean, I can stop even racing as well because as far as, but it's a hobby. Lot of pensioners when they, a lot of old people are lonely. They're on their own. Betting shops is like a socializing. You go there, you sit down, you have a cup of tea, you know each other, and it's like like a bingo. You go to bingo.
I understand what you're saying.
socializing.
I
So
tell
you got to balance it.
I'll tell you what you do then. I'll tell you what you do. With your vegan heart and with your vegan ethics, what you do is you go on Google and you find your local animal sanctuary. And you go there and you volunteer and you go there 3 times a week and you help with the animals, you care for the animals, you can go up close to the horses and you can care for the horses, and they have lunch breaks and they have cafes where you can socialize and you can create a whole social group of people, all an animal sanctuary that all care for animals, which aligns with your ethics.
Good idea. Yeah.
This is a better thing to do, right?
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's a good idea, my friend. What's your name?
My name's Steve. What's your name?
I'm Dilip Kumar.
Dilip Kumar. Nice to meet you. Thank you for a good conversation, mate.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It made me thinking, it started me thinking more about it now.
I want you to start action.
But I've been doing horses for 30 or 40 years now.
We've all done stuff for a long time that we regret doing. But from today, listen, when you walk away from this conversation now, you can change. You got the power of change in your hand.
Another thing I think people, since they're here, I would recommend that everybody to think about when the remember my name. You see, today you met me by chance, yeah? Remember my name, Dilip Kumar. I don't want any money from you or anything. I'll remember your name. You're Steve, you know?
Yeah.
Steve. Remember me. That's important. Money is nothing. We're not going to take money with you. But you can change somebody's life. You see, you'll be changing my life. Or like, you know what I'm trying to say? Money is just a commodity. But the reality is, remember my name. So people who died in the war, they remember now. Remember, I born on Remembrance Day, by the way. I born on 11/11.
There you go.
I remember.
It's a sign, mate.
I tell them, now I'm telling them, don't just wear the red what you call coffee, wear a white one, all of them, and pray for the whole world who have been affected by wars. Same like human. Wars, little killing in us, Gaza and all that. You know, so I'm against war, complete.
If you remove yourself from these industries that exploit animals, then you've removed yourself from war. The whole time you bet on animals, you eat dairy and eggs, you're involved in war.
What do you think of war? When they kill,
the war and the
humans
animals
are killing each other.
It's horrible. I'm against oppression, I'm against exploitation.
So one day we hope this world become like, what John Lennon was saying, no borders and no fighting, multiracial. Well, we're getting into multiracial, people are learning now, but we are all belong to God. We are seeds, we all belong to God, right?
You can start this journey from now. As soon as you leave here, vegan, you save nearly 400 animals a year yourself.
I know.
I'm
against meat anyway. I can't even see it. I can't even, if I touch it, if I was working in like Max and Spencer, I used to work. I had to handle the chickens, and I didn't want to even touch it.
In your mind, just know, horse racing, dairy, eggs, chocolate, cakes, they're all as equal as the animals' bodies that you can't even touch or see. It's all the same.
I will Google it.
Yeah.
And I'll go to vegan side. Vegan.
Challenge 22. You got a card on you, Lisa. Challenge 22.
And I'll look into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'll look into it.
Look into this here. Challenge 22 and vegan links. Take that one, man.
Why 22?
Because it's a free mentor for 22 days. Any questions you have about being vegan, they'll answer them all for you. You get a mentor.
But why 22? It's just like...
It takes 21 days to create a habit. They give you one extra.
Tell you one thing. When I won that big win on horses, it was 22.
Talking to you, today's your day. Vegan. Today's your day for being vegan.
But you know why I said 22? It's 22 June.
Right.
I won it. When all my 6 horses came out.
Right.
It was unbelievable feeling.
Right.
Nice talk to you, Steve.
You too.
22, another lucky number.
Have a good day, mate. Have a good day.
Number.
Go to the sanctuary. Help out the sanctuary. Them animals need you, mate.
Take care.
Have a good day.
Thank you.